Well, good evening and welcome to another Scale Model Ninja. This weekend we're going to carry on this evening on the Huey 135th Viper. So we did get a fair way last week. We got most of the body put together, got most of the tail attached, but we had to put some extra stanchions in on the actual body just to give it a bit of reinforcement and to help space it out properly. So we got that done. I've also been busy this week, mainly on Star Trek models. Because at the start of the week, I didn't really feel great, to put it at that point. So I was sort of like, I think, okay, let's see if I can find something that'll actually restore a bit of a mojo into the actual modelling again. And I was got to the point where I just didn't really want to be at the bench. So what I thought, well, I've got some Star Trek models. They're fairly straightforward, easy enough to build, and easy enough to paint. So the first one I started doing was me USS Kelvin. Started doing that. Yep. And then I started doing the masking for the Aztec decal and panels on it. Yeah, that was fun. So I've managed to get half of that done. But then I thought, well, it'd be a good idea as I'm waiting for that one to sort of like dry out and make sure I can get it in the right, everything in the right place. I'll start another one. Yeah. And then my little lad saw one of them, and he picked up one of the E-Variant one that I've got. So I've now got 3 on the go. So yeah, very interesting. I thought, yep. And then because I didn't have the original decals for the first one, which I'm now doing is the Ambassador, I thought, okay, I've got these decals here, which are just basically a plain printed sheet of decals. So they've had to literally cut everything out by themselves. Oh, what fun that has been. Over something like 400 decals I've managed to get onto this one model. And it didn't help that they were breaking up as well. So I've still got to figure out most of that to stop that from happening occasionally. But I'll get there. So, tonight we'll look at the chat and see who's in. And the first one in tonight was White Glove Models. He says, "Hey, what's up everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastical Saturday." Well, I am, and I'm glad that you've joined us this evening, White Glove. Thank you very much. Then we've got Cora Pink, Mrs. M, saying, "Evening, White Glove Models." And then we've got Hugh Gordon in. Evening, Hugh. He's saying hi to everyone. Evening, one and all. Then you've got Cora saying hi to Hugh. And then we've got Colin in. Hiya, Colin. Great to see you on the last night show. Looking a lot happier now you're back at the bench or other sorts of things. And he's going, "Hi, folks." And then we've got Cora Pink saying hi to Colin. And then Colin saying hi to Cora. And then we've got William Rayburn in. Good evening, William. Welcome to the show. Or it'll be afternoon, I think, over your side. He's saying hello, Ross, Cora Pink, Colin, and everyone in Chatland. Then you've got Hugh going hi, Cora, Colin, White Glove Model, and Ross. And you've got Colin saying hi to William, Cora saying hi to William, and Colin saying hi to Hugh. Or Hugo on that one. And you've got Hugh going hi to William. So yeah, as I said this evening, we'll be carrying on with the 135th Viper. So we'll swap over to the Mac Cam, and I'll just give you a quick view of what the Star Trek models are up to at the moment. So there we go, on the Mac Cam. I've got the parts there ready for my next bit. But first one up is the Ambassador. Now this one, it's been fun. So it's like every little window has to be painted in by using a very fine paintbrush and painted in black. So there's quite a few little dots on everything like that. And then all the decals that have gone onto there, I think there's something like close to 100 onto this front section here. And then there's all the decals that have gone onto here. And then the underside, which I haven't finished just yet, but we're getting there. So I've got all the windows to paint on this piece, put that to colour with the clear blue. And then we've just got to basically tidy up this ring on that one. So that's the Ambassador, which is getting more slowly but surely. And then we've got this E-Class. Now, I've been slowly working on this because this one's actually being done for my youngest son. He's wanting this one because there's a couple of bits missing from it, and I thought, okay, I'm not wasting a complete model, so I'll do something with it. And I've asked him what colour he wants it painting, and he wants it red and blue. So the parts that were missing was the piece that goes on here for the back door, for the shuttle bay door, and the two clear parts that went one there and one there. Now both of them were missing from the kit, so, and the actual structural piece that went across here. So all those four pieces are missing. So there's that piece missing, and then there's also one in the front here, which is the phaser ray dish, whatever it's called, can't remember now. But I found something that will go into there, and that's a window from one of my B17 kits that I've got extra. It's an extra piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around, put it inside there. Bob's your uncle. Looks roughly right. So he's not really going to be bothered. But he decides he wants it red, white and blue. Good lad, he likes the English colours. So all I've done is put it together, paint it up, and then I'll put the markings and everything like that, which I've slowly started doing with the decals. Because I think I've got about 5 different sheets that have enough decals to put onto this thing. And then, so he's going to be quite happy, I think, at the end of it. I've just got a little bit more work. It's a lot more painting work to do, and all the windows again that need painting in. So yeah, that's that one. And then we've got the Kelvin, which is this little fella here, the one that I originally started with. Now these, don't get me wrong, they are fairly straightforward and simple kits to put together. But when you start doing silly things like doing all the panels, now these are all drawn on with using a stencil that comes with the kit, and it was I did try with actually just painting them through the stencil. Didn't look right, absolute crap. So I thought, well, okay, I'll draw them on and then hand paint them in. So it's not looking too bad. There's the other stencil that goes on top of this one, which brings the slightly different size panels out and the slightly different alignment. So there, yeah, that's where I've got to on that one. I've still got the whole of the underside to do on that one yet, but we'll get there. So that's them three. Now, on top of that, as you know, we've got the Welliwopter with a sharp mouth, which I think is Colin approved. I'm doing my Baneblade. Now, as you all know, if you've been watching the Tuesday stream, I've decided to do it in my normal colours, which are the metallic blue and red. So I haven't done too bad on it so far, I think. And here is the little fella. Move them out of the way. So yeah, this would be my one. So we've got most of the main body part built, and then we've got the turrets and everything to go on it. But yeah, and a few more bits to be done underneath here. Got all the tracks on and everything like that. So yeah, just make it look different, as everybody else does normal camo and everything for them. I've just done it in my own colours because I felt like it. But I have made one little error, and not easy to spot, but it is to me now that I've actually spotted it, where I've actually put these on the wrong sides. So they're actually upside down, so the skulls are upside down. So I've got an Australian version of Baneblade, in my opinion. So I'm happy enough with that. There we go. So yeah, that's where I've got to on the Baneblade. So in a way, I've had a very, very busy week, and I've enjoyed it. And then I was in the Zoom chat with some of our American friends over across the pond, and I was in with them till I think it was 5 o'clock this morning on their Zoom chat, or was it? No, it's one of their rooms from Facebook that kept having major problems and everything like that. But we got it sorted in the end. We're having quite a good chat and speaking about different models and that lot. And they've asked me to do a couple of videos, if possible, at some point, showing them how I paint like large areas with just the brush, as they mostly use airbrushes over in America. They're not ones for doing hand painting bowl accounts in this group. So they've asked me if I'd just kindly make a couple of videos up at some point of showing how I paint wide areas, and there we go. So I said, yeah, I will do it at some point, and then hopefully we'll get around to doing that at some point, and then those will also go up on my channel and videos at some point. So hopefully people and everybody else will be able to enjoy them as well. Oh, dragging everything. So first of all tonight we're going to start building the rear rotor assembly, which goes onto here. And then we'll paint that up and then get that sorted. We have to attach the bottom part here at some point. I've just got to take it off yet and still sort of clean up some of the little bits there. And the obligatory marbles and ball bearings are in there as the weight. Stuck on with a bit of blue tack. So yeah, don't need that much weight, but it's I always put like a little bit extra in just to help where needed. So yeah, it does the job. But we'll get that glued up in a minute. So first of all, just need the black, and then we need the black metal. Should have cleaned it out before. Never mind. Do I put the other clean ones around somewhere? We've got these two parts to go together first. Snip. Yeah. I'll take this one off and put it onto the other one, I think. It shouldn't cause too many problems. So as I said earlier, I've been sort of like getting past the mojo killer at the moment. Haven't got a clue why I lost my mojo. It's just one of them things that happened. So if it happens to you, what do you normally do for everybody in Chatland? If you've got like a lack of mojo. I generally end up going into a sulky mood and sort of ignoring everybody for a little while. I find that's probably about the only way I deal with things. Hopefully Marcus might drop in later on, because I'd just like to say thank you to him. I was speaking to him in chat the other night on the 24/7 Hangout, which is through 5067 Workshop, and now I think this linked with model making guru Mr. Foxy himself, and Dad's stream, and we all have access to the 24/7 Hangout. Happily just chatting to him, and was chatting away for a good sort of like, for what I thought was going to be a 30-minute chat and hang out while I was there, for just to give him a bit of company. And I think me, Highland Bob, and Marcus were all sat in chat, and we were in there for a good 2-3 hours, I think it was, having a great chat and having a good laugh, taking the mick out of everything. I think that helps as well, when you be able to do things like that, and you used to have a good laugh and like-minded people, and we're discussing where he's going to go next on his next build and that lot. So two, let's leave that one there, and that goes onto that one, like so. Yep, so we can take that one off. Because he actually he brought me a cup of coffee as it goes, or in his terms, I think when it's when you go past the actual thing, it goes buy me a beer on my one, which he thought was quite amusing. But yeah, very grateful for your support. It's very much appreciated. And I will say, I do actually now, I'm getting used to using this Tamiya thin. I'm actually quite enjoying using it because it does help in a few things, because it does dry a lot quicker and sets nicely without doing too much, causing many problems. You then go on to where? It's very, very vague. I think. Let's try and work out how this rotor assembly goes together. Just make sure I don't snip the wrong things off here. Knowing my luck, I probably will do. This should look like so. Go into there like so. Okay. I think that's working. I'm going to have to sit there like so. There we go. Now we've just got to work out where this other little bit goes. Right, go on to like I was saying, this one is actually very, very vague in the instructions of where things join up, which makes it more interesting in a way, I suppose. It's like that. It's supposed to fit. I think it's supposed to sit there, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. This is going to be definitely interesting. It doesn't seem to line up the way it wants to. So we will use some normally sticky stuff, I think, on this one. Like so. It gives me a bit more room to, well, a bit more time to play and get it into the position I want. That's how it's supposed to sit anyway. We'll soon find out. Because that's supposed to fit onto there like so. It's supposed to line up to there. Okie dokie. We've got it together, we'll take that off now. The fun part now is actually to get all this to line up where it's supposed to. Goes into there. Oh, sorry, but that's not going into there. Where it's supposed to be. Strange. This is a mismould where it's not been moulded long enough. Which obviously I don't think it has, because that's doesn't look as though it's going to fit otherwise. Which is a wee bit strange. So what I might have to do is see if I can find some of my white thin rod and increase the length of that piece by cutting that bit off and then adding a new section. Otherwise that's going to look a wee bit stupid. Fine enough otherwise. Everything else is definitely in the right position. So yeah, we'll have to sort that out at some point. It's a minor little adjustment that I'll make some point very soon. There's Marcus himself. Just like to say again, Marcus, thank you very much for the buy me a coffee. Much appreciated. I hope you carry on enjoying the show. And he's saying, evening, ladies and gents. So good evening, Marcus. Welcome to the show. I'll wait for the right camera this time. Usually helps. Okay, so the rotor section built up. I think that was the only bit. Oh, well, there's them as well, isn't there? D42, which is two of them, and they're supposed to either be black or gunmetal. I'm not sure now. Still, so I'll be doing them in my usual mix. I just now got to find them, which are there on both these ones. Bit gone on the floor. Never mind. And one. That's you two. I got a piece gone. Right, there they are. Sorry about putting me ugly mug down there. Yeah, this is probably where I'll find that I can't get these in because I've actually stuck the other parts in before I should have done. Knowing my luck. But we'll see. I do fit in. That's right. Yep, good. Yeah, I get them in. You got Marcus saying hi, evening to Cora, and then Cora saying hi to Marcus. And that one, that should hold that nicely. And this is the mix I use for doing this sort of thing, for exhaust and everything. And it's just basically where I've used different dark metallics and that lot, and any I've got left in the pot, I'll throw it into this one here, the metallics, mix them all together. And then you end up with sort of like a blend of different rusty colours and everything like that, copper, rust, everything. That's a metallic colour. All goes in there, and it just sort of gives it that used engine exhaust look, which I usually am extremely happy with. It's just I very rarely have to add anything else to it. Depending if it goes a bit too dark, then I might add a bit of silver. But other than that, I'll generally just don't bother adding anything to it. I mean, I've added purple into it when I've used it in the other models. The metallic purple, metallic red, the rust colour, and copper. And it just comes up with this really dirty sort of like burnt oil, well, burnt effect for metal, which I'm usually quite happy about. So yeah, you can just almost see, and it reflects in the light, sort of like some of the different colours into it. And here. But I mainly generally use this for my tank tracks, if I do, especially like the Warhammer stuff. You saying hi to Marcus? And then Marcus is saying hi to you back. I must admit, these little Revell paint pots are quite handy, especially if you don't, when you've like cleaned them out and everything. They come in very handy, nice stable pots to use. And it took me a while to realise it, but the reason why they have the little dimple at the top there like that is so you can actually link them together, the front and the back. And then your paint that you've got in there is generally enough to do if you're doing small things. So you just join together, you've got your own little paint pot there. instead of having to dip right into the paint like I do. But yeah, that's what they're for, by all accounts. It took me ages to realise that. Don't know why, but never mind. Yeah. Okay. So we've got that back rotor to paint up because that goes in a black colour and the same in there. So what I'll do is I'll try to get a good, give it a quick coat of black first. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it just needs to cover it like so. Just gives it a, that's the actual look of the piece when you're using black metal, because it's the black metal paint that I use, which is the Vallejo, is designed for airbrushes. Even though you can brush paint it, it would take about 5 or 6 coats to cover properly. So I prefer to just give it a base coat of matte black. And then later on when I do the rods that I've got to do on it, I'll go over them with the gunmetal steel sort of look. So it just separates it off. Like me, just come down to make yourself a brew. Okay, so that's that. It's ready. That's that bit done. Now, this is the fun part of mounting the clear parts. So, the first one we're going to mount is the top screen section here, but we've also got a part to attach to it, which is C44. Let's get these off. Now these little nodules from the actual screw, I generally keep these little things because if you want to make tail lights or little bulb type things from the kits that have like got missing, then you can generally use them. So I normally keep them in little tub by themselves, and they come in really handy. You can shape them up and then go over, give them a clear gloss, and yeah, and they turn out okay. Now this is the fun part, because we've got that clipped. That's a rather large connection. I don't know why they do that. It's really annoying. Just help it come off. There we go. I don't like it when they make it too large of a nub, I should say. It connects it to the sprue. And yeah, everywhere else you got these tiny little nubs. For some strange reason they want to stick it together with a great big lump. If you try and just snap it off, you end up stripping the plastic too much. So I normally just score along it with a dart blade and then do this afterwards, and then it stops me from snapping the actual main part. Should put onto there, and that will go into there. Like so. And there's one way of making sure you've actually got your fitments right, because if you haven't, it looks absolute crap. But it looks like I've got that in the right position, and it's going to line up quite well. So there's that pieces there. You should hopefully be able to use the Tamiya thin on it, because this part here is going to be painted over anyway, so it shouldn't matter if the glue sort of steams it a little bit. It is doing its fogging slightly, but we'll get it. Okay, down you go. Just stay there. That's it. I think that's in position. Nope, it's jumped up again. Nope. It wants to place it, August. Now you just got to be careful that I don't. Get fingerprints all over it now. Let me hold that there. And again for there. Don't just touch it onto the side and it needs to well through underneath it. There we go. That should hopefully hold all that in position. Like so. Now for the doors and everything, for it I'm going to have to use me clear one, which is a PVA glue. Because otherwise they'll make a right mess. And it will basically fog over, like it was just on there slightly, on the front of the screen. The top piece there, clear piece there. But as I said, I don't mind that doing that at the moment, because that's going to be painted over, so it's going to hide that fogging when we do the rest of the front screen. So next up is, oh, and I forgot to put that bloody thing in as well, haven't I? What is it? 44. And looks like we've got JC Bricks and Builds in. Good evening, James. Welcome to the show. And he's saying, evening, Ross, and everyone in chat. And you got Cora Pink saying, evening, James. And then James is going, hey, Cora. And then Marcus is saying, evening, James. And JC Bricks and Builds says, hey, Marcus. I see your War Museum's coming along nicely, mate. Good to see. Ooh, quick slurp. Take these little nodules off here. That's them all off. Put you there for a minute. Now, we need, what is it? C44. Where's she gone? There it is. There you are. And only 5 bags left now. So what are you going to rig the boat for next one then? Have you decided yet, James? This one is going 1 and 4. This is where I forgot to actually black and red. So normally what I'll do, instead of having to keep looking back through to what the colour codes are, I'll normally write them out and put them on a piece of paper and attach it to one of the arms that I've got for either light or this little lamp here, or my big one up there, magnifying lamp. Very good. But them 2 bits are. So then all I've got to do is look at it that way. But this time I forgot to do that. It's all black. And I've just got to work out where this bit's got to go. Make it to the right. And while we're waiting for that, we'll get the top parts of these done with the light grey. What I'm just going to do is paint these bits. So I'm going to add the exhaust ports onto it. So it's going to be easy to do. Now we can use the brush. Well, it just softens up the bristles from when if you leave your brushes, they sometimes go a bit hard. And that one looking as though it could do with a clean at some point. And got William saying, I'm back, got lost. Fair enough. And then JC's still trying to presume his innocence by saying I didn't rig anything. Yes, me and Panzer know better. And this is going to be basically the base coat of it all. It's going to probably need another coat over the top of this, but there is a second colour shade that's going to go onto this. So that will make it slightly different. A slightly darker grey, because like most Marines aircraft, they have 2 paint colours that you use. And usually on everything near enough, and that's grey and all different shades of grey. if I haven't asked already, but what have we all got on our benches this evening? Anything good? And have we all had any new purchases at all lately? I think the only thing I've had was the 72nd scale Hercules that I've got, which is a newer variant of the older one that I've got to try and get new props made for it, which Colin 67 has he's kindly said he would actually print me some off if he's capable of doing it. Once I get round to sending him the one that I've got left. As my kids have decided to, well, the youngest one I think has actually used it for target practice and smashed the other blades off. But as I said, it's nothing that can't be replaced and rebuilt and repaired. Okay, well, that's that bit done already. Has that popped up? Nope, it's still there nicely flat. Yep, that's right, that's held in there nicely. Good. Then put the exhaust sections in. On this one, where are you? So you're going to be on the opposite side. It's going to be on this side somewhere. I think it's. Where do you attach? I think it's here, isn't it? Yep, it is. So this piece attaches down here somewhere. Which way around does it go? This is, as I said, part of the vagueness of this one. Really working out where parts go. And it's all fun and games trying to work it out. But there we go. You got Marcus going, still waiting for my Swedish Air Force to arrive. 148, Wagen, Draken, Lansen, and Tunnen. J29 should arrive any day now. Ooh, nice. Alright, that's what we'll do first. Where's my little red pot? There it is. This is where it comes when it's sometimes handy when you've got like little pots of paint like this around. From the settle. There's the little leaves of red. Yep. Okay, I'm done. Good. We have to attach these. In a minute with the so it goes that way around. Where's my other big bent nose tweezers? Then we've got to go into this little slot here. That's really fun. Used a actually, yeah, I'll use the other one. I don't want it. contactor. Where it could take a while for it to stick properly. Stay there. I think that's in the right position. Some tiny little bit of a touch up on it, but other than that, I think that's all in the right place. Now you can get that piece. For the next thing to build, is putting these two clear bits in, which is E9 and E6. E9. E9 goes from the side. That's it. Now, this is the part I always hate when I'm doing cobras. It's whether or not you can get these to sit in the right position. And you've got to make sure your hands are reasonably clean. I've got to clean that bit off, otherwise you end up leaving horrible fingerprint marks all over it. Try again. Oh, that's fine. Get into position. Yep. It doesn't want to play ball at the moment. The only part I hate when it's messing about with this much clear parts, even though I'm only trying to get it to temporarily fit. There we go. I think that's now going to be the right position for that. And then dry fitting it like this, it just gives you an idea how to actually get the piece in place to find out the best way. It'll be fairly tight, which is good. Okay. Now the fun part begins where I can try and get it again. Like I did the last time. Get it into position. Because if you do it wrong, even with this PVA one, you can still end up leaving fingerprint marks all over the damn thing when you don't want to. Think. Ah, you spine. Just doesn't want to play ball at the moment. Okay, well, that partially sit there, right? Now just get it sit down like so. Aha! There we go. Got it. That's one side in. Now the fun part begins on the other side. This one should sit onto the front like so. Okay, sit there nicely. Hopefully this should. Okay, so hopefully this one will go on a bit easier. That's it in the place. I think it has done. Yep. And there we go. So that's two pieces, well, three pieces of the main glass section now in. We've got that one side in, and that one side there. And the other two, we'll then decide whether we want them open or closed. I'll probably, as I can't really do any of the other parts open, I'll probably just have them closed. So this way it's going to look like a closed body altogether then. Yes, that would go onto there. That's why that part's over there. So yeah, it should negate the reason to put on the hinges then. So the next part is actually building the multi-barrel gun by the looks of it. So we need C20 126 that won't it? We don't need wings. Where are you? I know you're here, so I'll just put you down there. There they are. We need them two bits. C30. Move that again there. C30 barrels. Ah, great. So actually not build this damn thing up. It should be fun. C19, C18. We don't need U bits anyway, because we've already done the clear part one for them. So they're just extra pieces. I'll get them out of the way. And we need, what was that one? C35, which we also need. Bitch. Don't need that. Ish. Need C18. That's going to be fun. Actually, this attaches to the end of the gun barrels. And it is minute. Just that bit. C38, which is that piece there. Okay, that bit. That bit. C21, which is there. Make sure all the parts of the gun barrel. Right. This is definitely be an interesting way of doing these. So, need the black metal, so I'm going to have to use that to put the lid back on them properly, Ross, without spilling it everywhere. And we need the barrels. Got to somehow make these all join up. Here with that little tiny bit. Like so. What I'll have to do is probably paint these black before I actually put them on. Good. Way. Separate them, so I've got nice little 3 barrels like that. So I've got barrels just sitting there, just nicely. So I should now have enough black in there still. Give these a quick coat. I won't do the finish on them until I've got them together, but with it being black down onto it now, it shouldn't, if I do miss any of the part with the black metal, then I'm not gonna, it's not gonna be noticeable as much with them already being black, and it's not gonna be you're not gonna be able to spot it so easily. Just need a tiny bit more black. Yeah, the Vigant that Marcus has mentioned, is that the Hasegawa kit, or is it going to be the Oh, Eddard kit that you're getting. So I think they did an Eddard weekend edition of the Eddard. I mean the Vigan. That's a bit. So now this thing. That bit attaches to that. Like so. Well, I'll do like I did before, where I've literally just attached parts to them all together and just keep a piece of it onto the sprue. This way it's easier to spot if you actually drop something, which I tend to do quite a bit. So you're going to go on to that and just tie that a little bit up. And the other side. And then you have to do that, and then we use a temp super thin. There you go. That's all got that quite nicely done. And where does that other bit go? So that, these two bits. Nope. So, and then there. Has anybody else had any good news lately, or have they all been having a quiet week? So they actually haven't. I got entry bit sorted. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to do actually from the bottom, so we have to paint all that anyway. So I know only this week I've only had the Hercules arrive. That was accidentally bid on, and I accidentally won it on the veterans auction. Which I wasn't expecting to, because I thought it had a bit more interest from other people, but obviously not. So I ended up winning that, which I'm quite happy about, because it's actually the newer version of the Hercules. and it'll go nicely with my British one as an American Air Force one. This piece goes on to them, but it's going to be bleed as well. These are grey. Marcus is saying, quiet week, spending time with my son, all good. Yep, so I get those school holidays as well then for him. So over here we had our kids have been off on holiday for all week. And then, which is one thing I always find strange with the teachers, they're having a training day on the day they're supposed to go back to school. Now when I was a wee nipper, as they say, a few years ago, I'd never heard of these teacher training days. They seem to have one near enough every start of every term. Now when I was a kid, you were given a start date back to school, which was always the Monday following your 2 weeks or your week's holiday, and the teachers did their training on the Friday before the school started again. But it just seems lately where teachers must have that extra day. Never understood that why they do that, but hey ho. It goes that way around and mix onto like so. Okay. I mean, they're only off I think a week. But yeah, it's strange how many teacher training days they need. That's just my personal opinion, to be honest with you. Whether it's just a UK thing, I don't know. Ready. And she's got to go grey as well. With them bits. Alrighty. Okay, get this paint up. That one. And hopefully soon should be able to start putting the gun together. Well, to be honest with you, Mark, I don't know whether it is a study day for the teachers. It's sort of never really explained. They just seem to have this extra day when schools are supposed to be starting. And it's at the start of every single term. I mean, I can understand it if there's like a new teacher starting every term. So the teacher then gets to understand where everything is in the class. But if you add it up to sort of like from each school holiday, there's like 5 or 6 days in total that your kids lose out from in school because due to these teacher training days. Now, it just seems a bit strange to me, that's all. And I could never understand why they needed these extra days. Because during school holidays, teachers still get paid because they get set salaries. So, I mean, our teachers, when I was a kid, they used to come in the Friday before the school started. So you kids never missed any term time. But it just seems like nowadays it seems to be becoming common practice where the teachers have this extra day for some reason or other, and it's never really been explained to us why. Especially at our school, they very rarely explain anything for us. And they don't like it when you ask questions either. That's one thing I do know. They definitely don't like it when you ask questions. It's like I think it was nearly 9 months before we realised that our school's from being is changed over from being part of the Catholic Church to becoming an academy, and we had no official statement go out from the school. We just found out via other people talking to us that we found out when I actually questioned about when they kept certain funds for a school trip that someone was supposed to go on before this chocolate Velociraptor thing struck. And I questioned about where the money had gone. And I said, oh, well, we're keeping hold of it in case we go into things. But it's like, hang on a minute, you're keeping hold of money, so you earn interest off it. When you've got like 30 kids that are supposed to go to a school trip, even though it's like £8, they've had it for 2 years. And that was the only reason when I started questioning this that I found out that it was actually they'd gone from being part of the Catholic Church to being a academy. But yeah, I mean, little lads, both our kids are happy there. Don't get me wrong. Uh, so Marcus is going next weekend. Found out today they quit school early on a Friday and a Monday, and Monday after is a training day. So yeah, so what your teachers are doing, they're allowing the child to finish school for the day a couple of hours early, and that's when they do their training after the school day. Fair enough. I mean, I can understand that, but for completely losing a whole day at school, that's where I have a bit of an issue with it. But there we go. Just me being my personal opinion on it. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what our teachers did. The way when I was a kid, they you finish school, I think something like half an hour earlier, and then the teachers used to stay behind until about 7 or 8 o'clock at night having their training that way, which I think is fair enough. They're getting paid to do that. They chose this like decision to have to be a school teacher, so that's what they do, which is fair enough. Can't argue. But when it sort of affects the amount of time a kid is at school, then yeah, that's when I have the issues. Okay, so now we've got black metal. Doggy hairs go everywhere. I did say I was actually going to put this together before I painted it, but never mind. I've started now, so I'll finish. Just touch up where I need to. That's one reason why I like using the metallics from the Vallejo range. They do cover quite well, especially when you brush them on, especially over like a flat black coat like that, so you get nice only black metal gun barrels. Give it a minute for it to dry off, and then it's this part. Oh, it's time to call it a day. Hour and a half nearly up. I'm sorry if I bored anybody tonight, but there we go. These things sometimes happen. Oh, yeah, that's all ready to go together. So, yeah, well, I'll leave it at that tonight while waiting for them bits to dry off. I'll go back up to Facecam. And we go. That one. So yeah, well, thank you for watching tonight. I hope you actually enjoyed the show. I mean, it hasn't exactly been what I call riveting, due to the fact that with just having to put the cockpit together, glass and that. And I apologise to anybody if I've actually bored you. I do apologise. So hopefully you'll all come back next Saturday if I haven't bored the hell out of you. Yeah, so I will say night for now. Yes, it is Mark. It is actually a very nice Welliwopter, as I call them, and yeah, it's getting there. I mean, it's quite a size, and I prefer building in larger sizes. I don't generally build much 1/72 now. So, oh, my phone's dinging. Should have switched that to silent, but never mind. So yeah, I will say night for now, and hopefully see you on Tuesday, where we'll carry on with the Baneblade. So that should carry on nicely. So we'll see you all then. So bye bye. Have a nice night and carry on enjoying your weekend and stay safe. Bye bye for now.